In the near future, a colossal solar flare shreds the ozone layer and turns Earth into a sun-bleached wasteland. Anything caught in direct light is cooked by brutal UV. Storms rip across abandoned cities. 15 years on, engineer Finch scavenged with his stubby rover bot, Dewey. Sealed in a full-coverage rad suit that chirped warnings, he swept a looted market, stepped around corpses, filled a cart with cans, especially dog food, then marked the building on his map as cleared and rumbled a supply truck through sand-drowned streets. When his suit shrieked about an oncoming supercell, Finch floored it, clipped fenders out of the way, and dove into the underground bunker that once belonged to his space energy employer. Inside, he scrubbed the suit and Dewey spotless, showered, and doubled over coughing blood, slow radiation poisoning grinding him down. In the living area, his dog, Goodyear, bounded into his arms. The dog ate. Finch drank, and had a single peachkin he was saving for someday. Someday arrived as urgency. Finch's master project, a humanoid caretaker, needed finishing before he died. A robotic arm fed books through a scanner to seed an AI mind. Between code compilations, he tossed the ball for Goodyear. After reading grim chapters on radiation, he ditched sleep, harvested Dewey's optic sensors for eyes, and powered the new robot's head. It could nod, not speak. A few tweaks later, a voice emerged. The machine picked a name, Jeff, and rattled off facts from its freshly ingested library. Finch laid out core directives. Obey humans, cause no harm, and most important, Directive 4, protect Goodyear when Finch is gone. The lights died. Finch sprinted topside to kick the wind turbine awake, while Jeff tried befriending Goodyear and got peed on for the effort. Back inside, Finch mapped weather telemetry to Jeff's sensors, for storms converging into a 40-day monster. Staying meant death. He cracked the peach, bled from the nose, drew a westward line to San Francisco, and accelerated Jeff's body upload. Only 72 complete, but time was up. He mounted the head, taught the new frame to walk, with a lot of comic tumbles, gave Dewey a camera upgrade for eyes, packed tools, food, and his postcard collection, and rolled out in a battered RV. Desert swallowed everything now. Finch reminisced about wildflowers and bees as Jeff's skull rattled forced a repair stop. In a dusty town cinema, Jeff gaped at his reflection. Finch grabbed a popcorn bag, stepped into the sun, and showed how midday UV now popped kernels in seconds. When the storm wall crested the roofs, they bolted, anchored the RV with wire, sealed windows, tucked Goodyear into a cabinet, and braced. Lines snapped one by one until only Jeff's held. After the shaking, they found a shredded tire. Jeff just deadlifted the RV while Finch swapped rubber. On the road, Jeff tried barking back at Goodyear. Finch said trust takes time. Asked to define it. He told a work story about sharing credit to earn faith. Jeff, literal as ever, argued that meant Finch hadn't trusted the team in the first place. Finch coughed hard and pulled into a cafe shadow. Jeff, tinker with a dash, clipped a car and then a pillar. Furious, Finch thrust his bare hand into a sunbeam to show how fast it seared, then drove in tense silence until he cooled off and taught Jeff to handle the wheel properly. By night they watched Aurora shimmer. Ozone gone, sky on fire. Morning brought vomiting and chills. Jeff tended Finch, drove on, and stopped in a city to scavenge, a hospital this time. He set Dewey to watch the entrance and climbed for meds and a warm coat, not noticing eyes in the dark. Dewey found a stash of food and a bear trap. Metal shrieked, Dewey crumpled. Finch woke, suited, and followed their trail, gently powering Dewey down to stop the pain. Jeff appeared in his new jacket. Finch hissed that the place was a trap. Noise closed in. They ran, coughing, staggered to the RV and sped away. A car slid onto their tail. At night, Jeff killed the headlights, and still the car held distance. Finch swerved for an underpass and, panicking, tried to jam the too-tall RV beneath. The concrete chewed off the solar panels. Jeff muscled the vehicle the rest of the way under cover, while Finch listened to the stalker idle past. Assessing the damage, Finch snapped, "No panels, no chance at San Francisco." Jeff followed him inside and said he believed in him. Wearied, Finch told a story he'd never told. Early after the flare, he hid in a supermarket as a mother and daughter, armed and desperate, gathered supplies. A shotgun-waving stranger demanded their cart. Panic, gunfire, 2 bodies. In the girl's pack, a trembling puppy. Finch took the dog, named him Goodyear, and promised to keep him safe. That's when he stopped trusting people. Dawn. The computer pinged. UV levels not critical. A butterfly smacked the windshield. Jeff braked. Finch stepped into weak sunlight, lifted his hand, and nothing burned. He laughed, cried, found a flower poking through dust. As they drove, the land slowly greened. Finch, dressed in his good suit, said a picnic basked. Jeff admitted he'd seen something like a dream the night before. Then he asked about the San Francisco postcard. It was signed Dad, not Uncle, Finch explained. His mother had mythologized a father with Viking blood, a bridge builder who vanished before he was born. On Finch's 15th birthday, a single postcard arrived from San Francisco. Finch bought the suit for the reunion. That never happened, and kept collecting postcards after. Jeff calculated 18 hours to the Golden Gate if they hustled. Finch shook his head. His clock was nearly done. He made Jeff promise, truly promise, to care for Goodyear. They practiced fetch. The dog still returned the ball, only to Finch. Then the coughing fit turned red. Finch thanked Jeff for helping already, shook his hand, hugged him, and lay down. At sunset, Goodyear whined. Jeff understood. They gave Finch a Viking farewell, his suit blazing on a pyre. Grief hollowed Jeff until Directive 4 echoed back. He fed Goodyear, threw the ball, and finally, the dog brought it to him. Bond forged, they drove on. San Francisco rose from fog and ruin. Jeff built a small memorial to Finch, then walked Goodyear to the Golden Gate. The rails were plastered with notes, names, directions, please, proof of other survivors. Jeff pinned a postcard with a sketch of himself and Goodyear and turned on the bridge toward the city, the dog trotting at his side, ready to find a living and start whatever comes next.